By now, you've seen the signs. You've heard the stories. But there's one piece nobody's telling you. The deals have already been made. Behind closed doors, in glass towers and boardrooms you'll never set foot in, corporations are cutting billion-dollar agreements to replace you and make it look like progress. It's not just a technological shift. It's a business strategy, and you're the expendable asset. Here's the part they won't put in the press release. The real reason behind those breakthrough announcements. In 2024, Amazon rolled out another 30,000 warehouse robots. Publicly, the headline was all about innovation, speed, and efficiency. Privately, it was about billions in tax breaks for modernization and green efficiency. Those tax breaks weren't new money. They came from budgets and incentives that used to be reserved for hiring humans. Jobs with benefits. Jobs that fed families. Jobs that built communities. And Amazon isn't alone. Microsoft, Google, Meta. These companies don't pour billions into AI because it's the future or because they just love technology. They do it because AI doesn't unionize. It doesn't ask for a pay raise. It doesn't take sick days. It doesn't need parental leave, mental health days, or health insurance. Every human they replace is more than just a name crossed off a payroll. It's a permanent reduction in operational costs and a guaranteed boost to quarterly profits. To them, the math is brutally simple. Human equals to recurring expense. Machine equals to one-time investment plus low maintenance. And here's where it gets even darker. For every job lost to automation, there's a chain reaction. That warehouse worker who gets replaced doesn't just lose a paycheck. Their spending power disappears from the local economy. The diner near the warehouse sees fewer customers. The car dealership sells fewer vehicles. The ripple spreads quietly, invisibly, until entire towns feel hollowed out. It's not just about the robot in the warehouse. It's about the financial ecosystem those jobs supported. When the people go, so does the heartbeat of the community. And yet, to the boardroom, all that's visible is a neat little line on a spreadsheet that says, Labor Cost Reduction Achieved. Here's the part most people miss. The piece that flips this from unsettling to downright disturbing. Your government is helping them, not quietly resisting, not putting up guardrails, actively fueling the process. Why? Because AI boosts GDP numbers. Because an automated economy looks more productive on paper, even if it means fewer people are actually earning a living. Because modernization in a press release wins political points, while the word layoffs loses elections. This isn't conspiracy. It's policy. In the U.S., federal grants and state-level incentives are now being awarded to companies that fully automate specific processes, from farming to shipping to public service. We're not just talking Silicon Valley startups. We're talking about AI-powered irrigation systems replacing farmhands in Iowa, self-driving freight corridors getting greenlit in Arizona with taxpayer funding, AI-based administrative systems replacing clerks in small-town government offices. And here's the twist no one wants to admit. The very taxes you pay, from your job, your home, your purchases, are being funneled into subsidies and research grants that finance the machines designed to eliminate that job, shrink that community, and rewrite that economy. Think about that for a second. The dollars you earn through your human labor are used to make sure that human labor is no longer necessary. And the political spin? They tell you automation will free workers for higher value roles. But where's the proof? Because in city after city, automation isn't freeing people. It's freezing them out. The truth is, AI policy isn't being written to protect you. It's being written to optimize the system, even if that means optimizing you out of it entirely. Let's talk about McDonald's in Fort Worth, Texas, the first fully automated McDonald's in the U.S. No cashiers, no cooks, no human handing you your order with a smile, just touch screens, conveyor belts, and AI-driven kitchen systems working with military precision. Customers walked in, wide-eyed. Some filmed TikToks in disbelief. Headlines called it the future of fast food. But here's what didn't trend on social media. The 400 local jobs quietly cut across testing sites in Texas and neighboring states. The longtime managers who gave decades to the company only to be called into a back office and told, "We're going in a new direction." The single mothers working the night shift, replaced not because of poor performance, but because a robot arm never needs maternity leave, health care, or a lunch break. And the kicker? Within a month of the announcement, McDonald's stock price jumped 9%. Wall Street cheered. Investors smiled. Why? Because the company had just proven it could make more money by employing fewer people. This isn't just a McDonald's story. It's a blueprint for corporate America. Walmart, Amazon, Domino's, they're all studying the same model. Cut payroll, increase efficiency, boost stock prices. And here's the cruel irony. Every time we post about how cool it looks, every time we buy from these places to experience the future, we're validating the very data they use to justify replacing more humans. Our amazement becomes their market research. Our acceptance becomes their green light. Here's the truth. The part that should make your stomach turn. When you buy that new iPhone, you're not just getting a sleek piece of tech. You're investing in Apple's relentless push to automate away human jobs. From the retail workers in their stores to the app developers whose creations are now being outpaced by AI-generated software. Every sale becomes another drop in the ocean of capital that funds a future where human labor is an optional expense. When you stream your favorite Netflix show, you're not just unwinding. You're financing algorithms that are replacing entire departments of human script readers, editors, and even storytellers. Studios are now testing AI-generated scripts, AI voice actors, and AI-driven audience analysis that determines which stories get made, all without a single human in the room. When you shop online, every search, every purchase, every click is more than a transaction. It's raw data, a valuable resource that companies use to train AI systems. And those systems? They're built to eliminate the need for human marketing teams, data analysts, and even customer service representatives. They call it innovation. You call it convenience. But in reality, it's a mutual agreement you never signed. You give them your money, your data, your attention, and they reinvest it into the very systems designed to make you obsolete. The most chilling part? They don't have to hide it. It's written right there in their quarterly reports. AI-led cost reductions, labor optimization, automation, driven efficiency gains. These are not just buzzwords. They're coded confessions that every dollar you spend is fueling the dismantling of human work. This is the great irony of our time. You are paying for your own replacement. And by the time most people realize it, the option to resist will already be gone. Ask yourself this. Why don't companies openly announce when AI is about to replace your job? Why don't they sit you down and say, "Hey, in 6 months, your position will be automated"? Because if they did, the entire house of cards could collapse. You'd push back hard. You'd demand retraining programs that actually work, not empty promises. You'd organize unions, protests, legal action to protect your livelihood. You'd fight for your dignity and your future. The truth is, corporations know this all too well. So instead of transparency, they choose strategic silence. They roll out polished PR campaigns with heartwarming videos showing humans and AI working side by side. A partnership that sounds hopeful but is carefully crafted to soften the blow. They flood the news with stories about AI augmenting jobs, not replacing them, even as the layoffs quietly happen behind closed doors. Behind the smiles and slogans, the reality is far more ruthless. The balance of power is shifting, slowly but relentlessly, toward machines. They automate your tasks incrementally, so by the time you realize your role is obsolete, you're already a line item on a spreadsheet labeled cost savings. Humans become optional. This isn't just corporate policy. It's a calculated survival tactic in a ruthless market that values efficiency over empathy. And you? You're left in the dark, caught between comforting narratives and harsh realities. Because the less you know, the less you can resist. In the U.S., there's a startling gap in worker protections that most people don't realize. No law requires companies to prove they tried to retain or retrain you before replacing you with automation. Unlike some countries with strong labor unions or government mandates, here, a company can decide overnight that your job is obsolete. There's no obligation to offer you new training programs, no requirement to help you transition into another role, no guarantee of severance pay to soften the blow, no safety net, no fallback. Think about that for a moment. In a country that prides itself on opportunity, you can be discarded like an outdated tool the moment a machine can do your work faster, cheaper, and without complaints. The reality is harsh. Corporate America can automate you out of existence tomorrow, and you can't do a thing about it. You might feel safe if you're in a stable industry. But the truth is, there's no such thing anymore. Because in today's economy, every company is a tech company. Banks that once depended on human tellers now automate transactions with AI-driven systems. Retailers replace floor staff with self-checkout kiosks and warehouse robots. Law firms deploy AI for contract review and legal research. Schools experiment with AI tutors and automated grading systems. Hospitals use AI diagnostics and robotic surgery assistants. All these sectors share the same brutal calculation. Humans are expensive. Salaries, benefits, healthcare costs, breaks, mistakes, turnover. Machines? They don't ask for raises. They don't call in sick. They don't unionize. They work 24/7 with zero downtime. For companies driven by quarterly profits and shareholder expectations, that match is irresistible. It's not just about cutting costs. It's about creating a workforce that can scale infinitely without human limitations. But here's the catch. That scaling comes at a steep price. The disappearance of millions of livelihoods, and with them, the social fabric that depends on work for meaning, community, and dignity. We've now peeled back the curtain on how and why companies profit from your replacement. But in Chapter 4, we'll go deeper. Into the black market of AI. Because while big corporations are openly replacing jobs, there's a shadow industry using AI for something even more dangerous. Something that could destroy reputations, manipulate elections, and rewrite reality itself. And here's the thing, it's already started. Subscribe for the next part.